Hi, I'm Jennifer. This is also not my fourth but third Filecoin Dev Summit with like my new role as like a few OS member, which is a team that Nicole and Molly I recently started. That it's a Filecoin public good R&D focused team. If you do want to know more about FuelOS, it's like, what the hell are you guys? What are you guys trying to do? I do have another talk this afternoon at the Filecoin 101 track. Please join me. I would love to tell you more about FuelOS. But for now, I want to talk about Filecoin storage offering, following with what Nicole was just presenting you guys, and how we think as a good next step, building towards Filecoin web service and also validating our ideas with this new hot data cache storage, new proof of like PDP, proof of data possession. So let's get into that with a question. Yeah, I hope it's not like too spicy, but like one of the questions that we have recently is like, is PowerApp storage the right product for Filecoin to be building, right? We have been talking about PowerApp forever, I think 5 years since like the beginning of the, the creation of the Filecoin network. And it was like quite powerful. Like when you like going back in the time, think about 4 or 5 years ago, most of the blockchain network are either POW or POS. There's like not a network that its consensus is like storage based or powered by storage consensus, and that's where we found it like very innovative with like Filecoin network. We come up with a proof. Leveraging the network resources that can be providing different storage services, but also securing a blockchain network like consensus, which is very important in the decentralized network. And PowerApp at the time was one of the proof that does the job for us, and it does make Filecoin has a very unique security offering compared to different than any other of the network we have. And I believe Filecoin is one of the largest network, has the most snarks in it. It was great. However, is it good enough? Is that proof good enough for different of like data application storage offering that the DP network needs, or Web3, or like humanities data in general need? Is that still the right thing? I won't say the answer is no, because PowerApp is still very good for like how people are using Filecoin today, which is using it as cold storage or like archival storage. Because even though PowerApp is kind of slow, expensive to compute, however, it does offer you persistence like storage, right? It does give you proof of replications to prove you have the data there. You do the job once, and then the Filecoin network will take care of the validation of the proof to make sure that your data is always stored on the network. It does work for that use cases. So we see a lot of people started to build applications on top of Filecoin that backing up data like a lot of, for example, Solana, like the chain, I believe it's Solana, like the network chain data is backup of Filecoin. There's a lot of like Internet Archive data is like backup of Filecoin using PowerApp based like storage. It gives what people want. What you don't need all that data all the time. However, you want to know if one day I need that time, it's stored somewhere, and there's a network that give you the data back. But like I mentioned, I'm not going to be sugarcoating this. It doesn't work for all the storage services and different use cases needed. In the past 3 years, we have seen many teams that have been trying to build hot storage data on top of the existing Filecoin protocol. There were involvement, but I won't say there is one application that's really usable by end users on day-to-day thing. And that's the point we started to ask, okay, what's missing there? What can we get there? Is it like keep evolving the current network protocol good enough for us to get there? And the answer is like maybe. PowerApp is just like a proof concept, right? Like it's the existing PowerApp Filecoin is using doesn't allow hot data storage, because it's when you have to unseal the data, it takes you basically reverse the sealing process. You still have to do like 4 hours of computation to get the data back. PowerApp can potentially be evolved so that it can actually do fast unsealing as well. However, designing the research work and designing of that like new PowerApp probably gonna take take us years, and it's possible maybe we don't find a solution for that. So now it's a time for the Filecoin community to like arguing about, okay, is that the right thing to be investing our time in, or there are other solutions can get to what we want faster. And I think this is where we see PDP or Filecoin Web Service as a concept can come in very strongly. As a thing, doubling down on what Nicola was saying, let's like start to like think bigger. Don't only focus on like storage, like with Filecoin, think Filecoin as a reference of the cloud services. And we can deploy different proof for different service and different use cases. It doesn't have to be one, it can be many of those things. And what FieldOS currently has been working on for the past like a month or two, but idea has been there for like almost a year. It's a thing we call proof of data possession, proof of hot storage, cache data, proof of access. I have a very long name over here because we still don't know what's the best like name for that. However, we're serving for like one single use case. We want a proof that gives you the following, offers that like features that I'm about to discuss about. So by the end of like this dev summit, I do want someone to come to me and be like, Jennifer, this is the name. We finalize on that. That's gonna be, the PDP, the new service we are, trying to sell, whatever, trying to build. Someone should be telling me that. But okay, what are we trying to achieve with this new proof? The first thing is, in like in the storage application space, people like always be like, okay, I want to like put data in, and I want to be able to get my data wherever I want to. I want to retrieve the data. I want to see, for example, I store a cat photo, and I want to be seeing my cat photo whenever I miss my cat because I'm here talking to you guys, right? I want like fast read. I don't want to wait for 4 hours to get my data back. It's really hard. So we want a proof that allows faster read, which means like the providers does prove that they have access to already readable, retrievable data. That is one step closer to like a potentially efficient retrieval market that's building on top of Filecoin, like retrieval services that's efficient. When people get a request of like retrieval their data, the SLA can be really fast. Like, the first byte, like to read, like the time to read the first byte will be like much faster. That's one of the things that we are looking for, and we're hoping that's what the PDP will be providing you, because it generally asks you to prove that constantly on daily basis or weekly basis, depends on your SLAs of your applications, that I keep proving that I have access to this data that I stored. I prove to you that I'm storing that. So that's one thing PDP hopefully can be offering. And the other thing is that I want to give you my data, and I just want to know, okay, you have my data and you are storing that. I want like faster and cheaper, right? And I think that's very important because, as you all know, PowerApp right now is like quite compute heavy. It takes like, I think there's like a lot of optimizations, but generally it takes like 2 to 4 hours between you send data to someone and for it to get onto like Filecoin. And because it's like heavy computation, it adds a lot of like OPEX and other costs on the storage providers. Someone gotta pay that price, that cost, right? So the Filecoin network is, incentives that, because again, PowerApp does provide like security consensus like for the network as well. So the network is incentive that as well. But we are, the block rewards supposed to be covering some of the proof computation costs as well. But with this new PDP, we are hoping it's like lightweight, so it sufficiently reduce the OPEX of storage provider to generate this proof and provide services. And the end user, me as the data client or whoever, I will be benefiting from that, right? Because there are cheaper storage service for me to has like lower upfront costs for me to be leveraging. So we want to make sure that PDP is using a proof that's secure enough, efficient enough, that's lightweight to compute. You as provider can also just like pledge down less hardware resources, upfront like commitment before you can even build a business that's like providing storage service on the Filecoin network. So I'm not gonna go into too much details, but we are looking into different like Merkle tree proof or like SHA proof that's like lightweight, that gives us like what we want to do. Oh, there's another thing that's like cheap, right? That's very important. And because like PowerApp right now is very expensive, we try to, it's not that flexible. So once we want to make sure that we only do the heavy computation work like once if possible. That's why a lot of the application or the storage provider prefer to be like, okay, if you're storing the data with us, I'm gonna store in that for 1 year, for 5 years, so that I don't have to keep computing the new proof, so that I can show you I'm storing your data. We want PDP to be designed and implemented in a way the rate is so cheap. As the new storage demand is coming in, you can basically like adding the deal to your container, to your storage container. You can update the proof set, generating the new proof based on the new data that you are storing and proving that you have access to that data that can be retrievable later on. And that gives a lot of flexibility to the builders who are building application as well, which gets to my next point. Yes, we want like flexible deal terms defined by the providers and market builders. Again, with POREP, because it's actually contributing to the network consensus as well, we need to think about like security parameters, right? That's why there are deal terms, like minimum deal terms and maximal like proof sector terms that's bounding how you can store the data in what kind of a container of that. And a lot of storage providers actually find that quite annoying to do the business designing and everything. And it does limit the network and to the end users of what kind of the service they can buy from the Filecoin network. So with PDP, we want to make sure that the deal commitment and the data sector storage commitment are decoupled. You can do it as flexible as you would like to based on the service that you are offering. You can do like, daily payment, you can do weekly payment based on the SLA that your client is looking for. And you as the builder I feel like we are the protocol designer. A lot of time we say we are not the product manager or whatever, but you guys are the builders that are talking to the end users, building a product people will be using on the daily basis. You know what's the best deal terms and SLAs that your user needs. We want to make sure that PDP is designed in a way that doesn't have a lot of limitations, so that you can customize a lot of the market terms or the payment based on like what your product needs. And that is again another thing that PDP is hoping to be offering to folks. And a lot of people are asking me, is like, Jennifer, okay, so like, why do you care about this? I think you should be caring about like PDP and following our work if you are building a product that hoping to offer like hot data and hot storage. But because again, you can be leveraging the Filecoin resources. Filecoin has a lot of hardware resources, and it does validate the proof storage based like proof really well, leveraging that so that you can use that proof that Filecoin provides so that your product can offer verifiable hot storage. If you are building a such product, you're building an on-ramp, you're building an L2 that are doing any kind of like, application of that, I would love to talk to you. Nicole and like all of us would like to talk to you to see how we can help you integrate PDP into your applications so that you can save some time and to not have to worry about that and leveraging the work we have been doing here. There's like a misconception that I have been talking to people about PDP for 2 months now, and there's always a misconception of like, okay, it's like, how is like PDP going to be reduce the verifiable storage the Filecoin network offers? The answer is no. PDP is still gives you the data integrity because it is still like generating the proof based on the data that you stored. You will get one proof based on the data that you say you are storing. That is not changing, right? So PDP is just another verifiable storage kind of like proof that Filecoin can be able to use by different services. It's not doesn't give you like data integrity or anything like that. No, you still get that. You still get one proof of what data you are storing. And like, again, Nicola was saying, it is not the final stop. One of the strong pushback I have been hearing in the past months is like, Jennifer, I don't think this is good enough because what I want is proof of like retrievability, like I actually can get the data. But Nicola or like other cryptograph, people who work on like, cryptographic will tell you there's no way for us to prove a retrieval right now. That's why we do have to go one step further. PDP is just one thing that it can be a foundation for things like Spark, like protocol or retrieve.org to build different like incentives or validation mechanisms to show that, hey, not only you have access to the data, but you can also retrieve the data. Again, not all the data has the same requirement on how often the data will be retrieved. And that's why we do not want to define in the terms of that with PDP itself over here. We want applications to take that as next steps and building different protocol and product that offers this different SLAs based on like, the client needs. And my mega point over here is like, there are a lot of like hard decisions we have to make in our life already. Having which proof is not a decision that you have to make a hard choice. It's like either A or B on Filecoin network. You can have as many of like different proofs for different use cases deployed and leveraging Filecoin resources. I don't want you to be stressing out and sweating out of like, oh my God, okay, if I only have like if I have PDP, does that like mean PORAP is not there? No, different proof has different purpose. Again, PORAP is securing the network consensus. That's why it has, block rewards like, as the incentive for that. PDP may not get like block rewards in the first go. However, the incentive for you as a storage provider to provide PDP should be paid demand, right? There are just clients that's looking for hot storage, fast read and write access like data, and cheaper storage compared to PORAP. They will be buying the PDP storage service you're offering instead of the PORAP, right? They don't conflict with each other because different use cases have different like incentives, and we can have all of this on Filecoin if we have the builder of different, applications and proof set web services on top of Filecoin. And I think it's going back to what CX was saying. Okay, what's the next steps then? I also have heard a meme of, I will believe it until I see it. So few us is willing to put down resources and basically be the first one to validating our idea. Again, with Nico's pitch to the ecosystem is like, okay, so one of the next steps we are taking towards like Filecoin web service is like we want to validate our idea and like basically build a version 0 of the common interfaces like the collateral, the escrow, the payment, the deal market with this new proof, PDP, and see whether we can find people like be running that and like using it. We are not introducing this proof in L1 because we don't want to be bothering everyone in the network to do a network upgrade to do the experiment with us. So we are actually going to be building this in the user space as a solidity contract on FVM. You can then use it as a L1 applications on top of Filecoin, or you can use in your L2 in IPC or so on and so forth. We are hoping to find applications that do you find this is useful and want to be integrating PDP into the thing. So if you're interested, please join the Slack channel on Filecoin Slack, Feel PDP, or you can reach out to us. And last but not least, this amazing work, a lot of the research going behind the scenes, like figure out what's the right proof that gives us the reach our design goal for PDP in general, are powered by amazing people of Luca, Irene, Enos, and Nicola here. A lot of them cannot be here. That's why I'm the one presenting, but there's a lot of hard work going from these people. So I just want to give a shout out to them. And I think that's it.